Hey everybody. So if you can take a look at this setup, I've tried to explain this to people for a very long time, learning how to work the lines and the angles when it comes to punching and slipping, etc., etc. So I set up this. It's been on my mind for the last 3 days, for a very long time actually. So what I've set up is this. We have these two blocks, and these represent somebody's hips. Okay, and a lot of times what I'm asking somebody to do is to get outside their hips. This represents optimal angle. If I'm punching, okay, actually I just shifted this whole thing, basically coming from here punching. Okay, typically you can punch toward the center line or punch through here. From here, this starts to take this hand out of play. So you have to imagine that my hips are square, so as I start to turn this way, it starts to take this hand out of play. If I'm here, it makes sure it doesn't keep it out there. This is one of those things where I keep trying to tell everybody about squaring up to somebody, being profile about 30 to 45 degrees sideways or perfectly linear, which is represented by this yellow line. This yellow rod also represents somebody's center line. Okay, so this is one of those things. This is not practical. I just needed something physical. I wasn't going to lay down some tape. My advice to you is, if you really want to understand this, is to lay down some tape. Okay, I actually in the boxing section we have this laid out pretty well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of dismantle this. Actually, let's just see if we can get this, and I hope everything is in an angle. I got Morgan over there behind the camera. Okay, when I'm fighting somebody, okay, the last thing I want to do is I don't want them to be squared up on their hips. Okay, in actuality, I want my hips kind of squared up on them, but to the outside if you're playing the outside game. Okay, this is the reason, and God, I can't remember the fight. It just happened. It was the fight with Rose, Thug Rose. I can't pronounce her last name. Fight right before she got knocked out via the slam. I forgot what fight those were, but as I was watching that fight, I was like, Rose is working the angles exactly the way they should, okay? Or at least what I'm trying to tell you guys to do, okay? Which is, I want my profile hips, my ability to fire through here, always on the target, while they're turned away. So constantly there's this thing where I'm moving laterally to the outside, okay? Now I'm not sure if you guys realize this, but most people when they move laterally this side, this is fine, but when they move laterally this way, they move in, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but I move closer to this hand. This is why when I tell my guys to move, it's like I'm outside of this foot, boom, but if I move sideways, if I move just standard sideways, I'm now within striking range. It's not the exact same thing. You want to come here, but because you're moving with your left foot, which is in this particular case also your front foot, you move forward a little bit. So as you move to your left, if you're orthodox, you move left and then pivot out. Okay, always trying to aim here. Right now, as you can see, I've now squared myself up away from the center line, which means I am now vulnerable and I'm essentially linear. So I always want to see if I can get onto the outside as I move to here. So what am I trying to tell you guys? Simply this. And we can go southpaw too. It doesn't matter. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. Okay. When I move to the right, I want to make sure I'm outside of the person's jab. Usually my head, not necessarily my leg. Okay. So if a person moves this way, okay, they want to get to the outside of my hip. Okay. I need to move this way or turn my body this way to be able to throw my jab correctly. It's not that you can't throw it sideways. You just, again, take this out of play. Okay. Or, as I move to the left, I'm going to move out into the left. So I want to be outside of this shot over here. Not only that, but if anything, you want to get your head out there before you move your hips out there. Okay? Reason being is because you're lining your face up to this person's power. Now, this is going to be something I'm going to need to show you guys live, but this is essentially, I want you. If I had a computer generation, I could show you this jockeying for position, moving left and right and lateral to make sure that you're outside of the punches and setting up your kicks directly, whether you want to fight in the pocket. I'm not going to address fighting in a pocket today, okay? So again, your footwork is going to be always jabbing towards the center, moving out. I'm not sure if you can tell, okay, but my head is moving outside of this line, okay? If I'm going to move across, boom, I'm realizing my head is on line. I want to go ahead and move outside of that line. That's why you see a lot of the counters to if a person's orthodox and they're throwing that right cross, the counter is to swivel out and to throw that front hook. Okay? So again, jab off the right, counter with the right. Okay? So jab when I'm moving right, throw a counter cross right. Okay? Move outside. Okay? Step, counter hook. Okay, one more time. Another good fight that you can see this with is Chuck Liddell versus Randy Couture 2. You'll see Chuck constantly moving outside of Randy's punches and throwing that counter punch. So again, slipping out, boom, throwing the counter across, okay, stepping out to the side, throw the counter hook. Okay, there's your homework. See you next time.